I just finished up the top 5 rides and shows at Universal Studios in Orlando, so now it's time for the top 5 at Islands of Adventure. Number 5 is Forbidden Journey. Now, this was my wife's attraction. This is the ride that she operated when she worked at Universal, so it has a special place in her heart. A very fun, unique ride. When it came out, it just took the industry by storm. The unique arm, you can feel like you're flying. The storyline's incredible. When you go through the castle, just seeing all of the pictures that are TV screens moving, and they have that motion of the moving pictures. The theming is just takes you back to where you think you're in Hogwarts. As a Harry Potter fan, this is what you want it to be when it opened. It was such a great addition. Thank you to this ride for what it did for Universal, for what it did for Harry Potter. Number 5 is Forbidden Journey, and is a ride that you're not going to want to miss. But hey, it can get some people kind of sick, so if you're prone to motion sickness, you might want to sit this one out, or at the very least, make sure you tour through the entire castle, and don't do it on a full stomach. Number 4 is SpiderMan. Number 4 for studios was Transformers, so it just seems fitting that number 4 is SpiderMan for Islands. It is a very, very fun ride, the same mechanics as Transformers. The storyline is awesome. The electric charge still freaks my wife out. Spider-Man's such a fun ride, well developed, greatly themed, and just a truly, truly fun ride. You're going to have to look out for Stan Lees during this. There are multiple Stan Lees. I think we're going to do a little trivia question on that later of how many there are, but I'll give you a hint. There is more than one Stan Lee in this attraction. Also, in the first on screen, you're going to have to look for someone that isn't Spider-Man, that is part of the Marvel Universe. That's a little shout out. Easter egg in that ride. Spider-Man, definitely a very, very fun ride. Number 3, my number 1 of the Harry Potter attractions, that's Hagrid on the bike side. Now, at my height, I really don't fit in the sidecar. I think I squeezed in once and stapled myself, and it really wasn't comfortable. But generally speaking, I don't fit on the sidecar side, so that means I've got to be on the bike side, which is honestly the side you want to be on. The thrilling element, where you feel like you're racing through the Forbidden Forest and all of the lands, the creatures that you see, the theming and the storyline is so much fun. It's not as intense as the predecessor of it, where it used to be with Dueling Dragons. Oh, I miss Dueling Dragons, and that would definitely be on this list if it wasn't torn down and not going to return. But Hagrid's did the job it needed to do for filling, with the help of something that we'll get to later on in the list. Hagrid's is so well themed. The storyline, the different launches, I believe there's 7, the drop track, it's just a great, great time. Number 2 is a special ride in my heart, over 2,000 times being on it, my most ridden ride. That is the Incredible Hulk. Oh, it is going to get you launched out of there real quick. The 0G roll, the first half is intense, can be a little bit of a headbanger if you don't know exactly where to put your head, and if you're in the back row, which is my favorite row, it can sometimes whip you around. The second half is kind of chill and relax, and you get that dun 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 dun. The score by Patrick Stump, lead singer of Fall Out Boy. Just you can jam out to that throughout the entire attraction, particularly in the second half when it's nice and calm. You have the just slow roll at the end. It's a fun ride from start to finish. The launch definitely gets the ride going with the 0G roll into the Cobra roll. Absolutely love this ride. Done it, I believe, almost 2,200 times. I'm going to have to look at that exact number, but it is a very, very fun ride that I highly suggest you checking out. Now, the honorable mentions to this are the rides that didn't make it, but I do enjoy. And the reason why they didn't make it is because they're water rides. I'm not a huge water ride guy. Now, it can get extremely hot in Orlando in the summer, obviously. So sometimes the water rides can be welcome reprieve, but usually I don't feel like having wet socks when I'm walking around, so that ends up being kind of a downfall to it. But Ripsaw Falls will get you soaked, but it's a very, very fun ride. It's outdated on the theming. I love Rocky and Bullwinkle theming, but it is outdated. I wonder how many kids actually know what Rocky and Bullwinkle is anymore. But it's a very, very good, thrilling water ride. River Adventure is the other honorable mention water ride. And this will get you not quite as soaked if you sit in the back middle. If you're in the front, you're probably going to get soaked. But the Jurassic Park element of it, where you can see all of the different dinosaurs, the welcome to Jurassic Park, just sends you goosebumps. You get to enjoy all of that. The downside is Both of them are water rides, so that's why they didn't make the top 5 on my list. Now, number 1 should be no surprise to anyone. I have a full video already dedicated to this. Velocicoaster. What does this ride not do? It's so well themed. The building up with the story. I somehow took advantage of saying, hey, we're going to make a roller coaster go through a velociraptor paddock, and that's what the storyline is, and that's what it actually is, and it works. The locker system, thank you very much, where you can have your phone with you for most of the queue, but you can still do it in the locker, and the double-sided on the other way, so you don't get that logjam nearly as much. It's intense. It's thrilling. The near-miss elements in the first half, the open nature in the second half. I've done it several times, and wow, this is my number 2 overall attraction, number 1 at Universal Islands of Adventure. All this ride, especially at night, is just one of the best rides you will ever ride. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hey, check out some of my other lists.